Our home should make us feel safe, happy, and secure. We should be able to walk through the front door and feel like we can finally exhale. But what if it doesn't? What if every room, every hallway makes you feel intense sorrow and unbearable pain? After losing her husband, David, to cancer, Charmaine could no longer stay in the condo they shared together with their daughter, Gabrielle. She had to make a move. Let's listen to her story.
Every time when it comes at 5 o'clock, it's when I actually feel the pain, because that's when we came back together. You know, he would pick me up, would have supper together, and that was like every time when 5 o'clock come and I leave work, it's hard. David and I met in Montreal, and we got married in Montreal, and then we moved to Toronto to start over our life as a married couple. And then we had my daughter Gabrielle. 2018 December, he discovered he had colon cancer. That day when he said he wasn't feeling well, I stopped whatever I was doing at work and I came home and I took him to the hospital. He went from eating to not eating, and then he passed.
When I was little, I always had good times with him. I wish that I could play with my dad. I would say to him, when you gonna come back?
We couldn't stay in our condo. There was so much memories, even though it's good to cherish those memories, but being there, I just couldn't stay there. So I wanted to start over. So I bought a place and we moved to that new place. Despite the sadness, despite whatever happened, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. And my husband don't want me to stay there and be sad and gloomy. He want me to go on. And I want to show my daughter that despite setbacks in life, if we just move forward, we can do it. All we have to do is just keep putting one foot after the other.
Powerful story there. Very touched by Charmaine's strength and courage. And Brenda, this had to have been an emotional project for you. I barely made it through that video. Tell us what room you designed for Charmaine and how you approached it.
This is a very special project, a very emotional one. I'm almost in tears listening to the video as well. So when Charmaine reached out, she just had such a positive energy, and she's been so amazing to work with. And we worked on her office space, and I just knew that what we did in the office really had to represent her and her daughter, and that positive energy. We really wanted the space to feel inspiring, to feel feminine, and to just feel peaceful. And so really, and coming up with this design concept, that's exactly what I had in mind for this office.
That was no small task, I'm sure. So what was the first thing you worked on when designing this space, Brenda?
Yeah, so the first thing, obviously getting to know Charmaine and what she wanted in the space. Culture and just inspiration was really important to her. So we focused on the color palette and making sure that that color palette was symbolic of just that. And so the color that was really our main accent color was yellow. Yellow is a sun color. It just represents optimism and new beginning. And this was just the ideal color palette by using yellow as a jumping off color and then tying everything together, adding the greens, the blues, and just really rich, vibrant tones that represented her culture and her heritage.
Optimism. I love that. I love the color yellow. We've got it all over our house because of the joy that it brings. So what about furniture placement?
Yeah, so furniture placement, what we did is, so we got two large desks, we joined it together because we really wanted connectivity with the shared space, and we placed it in a way where it's positioned by the window so you have that natural light coming in.
I think a lot of us have found that getting out in nature immediately brings the stress levels down. And I see that you've brought some green into the space, some plants into the space. So talk us through a bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the goal with this office space is just bringing in positive energy. And one of the best ways to do that is to bring in greenery, live greenery. It creates that positive energy space. And also it removes negative toxins as well, which is something that we factored in. And so I don't have a green thumb, and so my go-to plant is a snake plant because it's easy maintenance, but bringing in green, bringing the outdoors in is a great way to create positive energy.
Oh, I'm right with you there. Not a green thumb over here. So I go with the easiest low maintenance plants you can find, Orpho. Now, please talk to us about the art in the room. Looks gorgeous. Why does it play such a significant role?
Speaking with Charmaine, she talked about just culture and representation and making sure that this was not just a beautiful office space, that it held significant meaning. And so we did that by way of this artwork, which is so beautiful. Again, we're playing off with our color palette with that sun color of yellow. This woman is wearing this beautiful dress. She has this bold bracelet that's making a statement. And she has this beautiful African head wrap, which brings all the vibrant colors in here. And this is exactly what you need to have that strong representation and that vibrancy to create that positive energy.
The space looks like the perfect place for Charmaine and her daughter to connect. Well done. Let's see how she feels about it.
I wanted our house to represent our culture, to represent our roots from Africa. I want to equip my daughter with the tools that she needs. I know my husband David would have wanted my daughter to know our roots and where she came from. And so the thing is, if we don't know where we came from, there's no way to go forward. So by me teaching her and her having her culture in her home gives her that sense of, pride. It grounds her and help her to strive. Even though we lost Dave and it was a very difficult time, and it still is a very difficult time, I want to show Gabby that even though we made bumps in the way, that you don't let it keep you back. The office represents a place where Gabby and I reconnect after like a hard day work. She can either do her homework in there. We can play games in there together. It can also be a place, even though we share it, we can still be doing our own individual thing. It's gonna be our place where when we want comfort, we can just go there and reflect. It makes me come alive. I feel good being in there. It's so it's refreshing. No matter what's happening around me, I totally just get into my work because my work environment is it's beautiful. I love it.
I would like to say to Brenda, thank you for helping my mom.
Oh my gosh, could that be any sweeter? Love that so much. I love seeing Gabby hugging her mom. Thank you, Brenda. And thanks to Charmaine for sharing your story with us. It was beautiful.